This is our Sun. It feels massive, doesn't it? It holds 99.8% of the mass in our solar system. But we are leaving it behind. We are flying past the gas giants, past the orbit of Neptune, and crossing the heliopause, the final frontier, where the solar wind dies, and the terrifying silence of interstellar space begins. We aren't out here to look for planets. We are out here to hunt monsters. And the first monster we find is Ton 618. 4 years. Astronomers looked at this hyperluminous quasar and trembled. It is a supermassive black hole, with the mass of 66 billion suns. It is so gargantuan that its event horizon would swallow our entire solar system, extending far past the unexplored Oort cloud. It's a beast so large it defies comprehension. We thought it was the heavyweight champion of the universe, but we were wrong. If Ton 618 is a monster, then Phoenix Asterisk is a god. Lurking about 8 billion light-years away, there's the absolute behemoth known as Phoenix Asterisk. This isn't just a black hole, it is a primordial scar on the universe. While other black holes formed from dying stars, Phoenix Asterisk is so massive, 100 billion times the mass of our Sun, that it likely formed in the chaotic fires immediately following the Big Bang. It is ancient, it is hungry, and it is growing, devouring entire solar systems worth of mass every single week. So, here is the ultimate question. What happens if these two titans collide? You might expect a frantic crash, like two cars slamming into each other. But gravity at this scale is an artist. If we dropped these two leviathans into the same galaxy, they wouldn't rush. They would begin a terrifying cosmic dance. Over millions of years, they would circle one another, spiraling inward, dragged together by the undeniable power of their own gravity. As they close in, the fabric of spacetime begins to scream. They would distort each other's shapes. For a moment, they wouldn't look like spheres. They would become shapeless voids, stretching and morphing toward each other across the emptiness. They are two singularities, infinitely heavy, pulling until they reach the point of no return. And then, the bloop. It sounds almost comical, doesn't it? A bloop. But that sound represents the most violent event physically possible in our universe. When they touch, the connection is instant. Two of the largest objects in existence combine into one stupendous super black hole. The energy released shimmers across the cosmos in the form of gravitational waves, shaking the very foundation of reality. For billions of years, they consume everything in their path, and then settle into the dark, waiting for their next meal. But black holes are just the beginning. To understand true chaos, we have to look at something even bigger than a singularity. We have to look at what happens when billions of stars go to war, before we smash entire galaxies together. If you are enjoying this journey into the most destructive forces in the cosmos, do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe. It helps us find more monsters in the dark to show you. Now, let's talk about the Milky Way. In about 5 billion years, our galaxy is going to crash into the Andromeda galaxy. But this collision is nothing like you imagine. When we say galactic collision, you probably picture billions of planets smashing into each other like a cosmic demolition derby, with explosions lighting up the sky. But the reality is much stranger. If black holes merging is like a soap bubble popping, watching two galaxies collide is like watching two ghosts run into each other in a hallway. Why? Because space is incredibly, mind-bogglingly empty. Even though the Milky Way and Andromeda hold hundreds of billions of stars, the average distance between two stars is about 5 light-years. That's 29 trillion miles of nothingness. So, when these galaxies merge, the stars don't crash, they pass right through each other. It is a gravitational ballet that takes billions of years. The beautiful spiral arms we know today will be ripped apart. Dust and gas will be scattered into the void, and the two galaxies will warp and distort, eventually morphing into a chaotic, new elliptical galaxy. It is a destructive process, yes, but there are hardly any casualties. It's a billion-year watch party, where almost nothing actually hits anything else. But what if we want a direct impact? For that, we need to zoom in. We need to look at the sumo wrestlers of the cosmos, the gas giants. We aren't talking about Earth-sized rocks. We are talking about planets that challenge the definition of a planet. In the blue corner, we have Roxas 4b, a gas giant 9 times the mass of Jupiter. In the red corner, TOI 4603b, a beast weighing in at nearly 13 Jupiters. When these two collide, there is no ghosting. This is a wet, heavy, explosive crash. They slam into each other at typical solar system speeds tens of thousands of miles per hour. It is the biggest TOOMF in history. A shockwave of superheated hydrogen and helium blasts into space. But they don't explode into nothingness. They merge. And this is where the magic happens. Separately, they are just planets. But combined, they tip the cosmic scales. When their combined mass exceeds about 13 Jupiters, they become too heavy to be planets, but not heavy enough to be stars. They blast past the critical limit and become a brown dwarf. A brown dwarf is a failed star. It doesn't have enough mass to ignite hydrogen fusion like our Sun, so it doesn't shine with bright visible light. However, it is heavy enough to ignite deuterium fusion in its core. It generates its own heat and glows with a dull, infrared light. By smashing two massive planets together, we have essentially created a new type of celestial object, a glowing ember drifting through the dark, warm, but never bright enough to host life. We've seen the ghosts, and we've seen the sumo wrestlers. But let's be honest, you didn't click on this video for warm embers. You want to see the biggest fireworks display possible. You want to see what happens when we take the safety off and smash the biggest, brightest, most volatile stars in the universe directly into each other. We need to talk about the A-list celebrities of the galaxy. Stars like BAT 9-8. This thing is a colossal star in the Tarantula Nebula, with a mass over 200 times that of our Sun and is 5 million times brighter. If you replaced our Sun with this star, Earth wouldn't just get hot. The oceans would boil instantly, the crust would melt, and the planet would be vaporized before it even had time to fall into the gravity well. So, what happens if we take that monster and crash it into another Titan, like the luminous blue variable Eta Carinea? The result depends entirely on speed. It's the difference between a handshake and the head-on collision on the highway. First, let's look at the handshake. If these huge stars drift toward each other slowly, they merge. They combine their fuel and mass to create a new, terrifyingly bright object called a blue straggler. These are the zombie stars of the universe. They are found in ancient star clusters where all the big stars should have died out long ago. But blue stragglers look young, hot, and blue because they have stolen mass from a collision. They burn brighter and faster than they have any right to, standing out in the cluster like a neon sign in a graveyard. But that's the boring scenario. We want the highway scenario. Imagine Eta Carinea tearing through the nebula. It closes in on BAT 99-98. Gravity pulls them together, accelerating them to incredible speeds. They don't merge. They slam into each other with such force that physics simply gives up. This isn't a merger. This is total annihilation. The kinetic energy of the impact is so catastrophic that it overcomes the gravity holding the stars together. There is no bloop. There is no new star. The impact triggers a nuclear thermal runaway that completely obliterates both objects. They are atomized. The explosion sprays starguts, superheated plasma, and heavy elements across light years of space. The two stars cease to exist entirely. They are wiped off the celestial map in a fraction of a second, leaving nothing behind but a rapidly expanding cloud of gas that will never form a star again. It is the ultimate cosmic delete button. From the silent, ghostly dance of galaxies to the terrifying merger of black holes and the violent annihilation of stars, the universe is a violent, active place. And speaking of collisions, there is an interstellar object called 3I ATLAS passing through our neighborhood right now. It's just a visitor. But what would happen if that traveler decided to make a pit stop right here on Earth? That is a story for another time. If you survive these collisions, smash that like button like it's a collision between two super Jupiters, and subscribe to join us for the next cosmic event. Thanks for watching, and keep looking up.